getting out of poverty and being broke all the time is realizing that there's something else you can do with your money other than spending it, and it's growing more money. Wouldn't that be exciting, having more money? Today's video is going to be how to finally stop being broke. So without further ado, let's just get to the video. Let's go. Woo! Number 1, money is to grow more money. Before, when I was broke all the time, I thought the purpose of money was to live life and buy things. I thought that's why we went to work. That's why we had a 9 to 5. You go to work to get money, and what do you do with money? You buy stuff you like, stuff you need to buy, like food, clothes, and shelter, and cool stuff that I need, like the latest shoes. But actually turns out that there is another function for money. You can grow money with money. So what that means is you can take your money and you can reinvest it into things. These things are called assets. You can reinvest back into a business, into stocks, into yourself. Probably one of the important ideas about finally getting out of poverty and being broke all the time is realizing that there's something else you can do with your money other than spending it, and it's growing more money. Wouldn't that be exciting, having more money? Number 2, buy assets, then luxuries. I didn't come up with this myself. This is Rich Dad Poor Dad's idea, but it's a great idea. Before, I thought that life was just kind of like a scale. When you don't have much money, buy cheap stuff, and as you become more rich, you can afford luxuries. When I had a bit more money, I would go out and I would buy the luxuries that I could best afford, or I could afford, and I was like just waiting till I had more money to afford better luxuries. I'll use myself as an example. Before, when I had a surplus of money, I went out and I bought luxuries. I've actually paid off all of my student loans, and I'm continuing to grow my asset column. One of the assets that I like to buy is I like to buy stocks, and so that is what I do when I have a surplus of money. Well, actually, I put money towards stocks monthly, but I feel like I have a little bit more wiggle room and a little bit more justification if I want to buy luxuries. It's funny, the more money you have, the less inclined you feel like dropping that money on something luxurious. But I'm not demonizing luxury stuff. I love luxury stuff, but it's kind of like a shift in mentality. I didn't think that my money is just solely being used for buying luxurious things. If you want to buy them, first do yourself a favor, buy yourself some assets, and then treat yourself to a little bit of luxury. Number 3, a change in mentality. I think the thing that kept me broke the longest was just more or less ignorance. It took me reading about financial literacy to finally kind of get out of doing the same repetitive habits, because you do the same repetitive things that you do, not because like you don't know any better, partly because you don't know any better, but mostly because you really do genuinely think you are doing the best for yourself. For example, when I felt like I was buying myself this and that, I didn't think I was keeping myself poor. I genuinely thought like, oh, treat yourself. I really thought I was treating myself to the best that my money could buy. So it wasn't until I was introduced to the idea, if you want to stop being broke, one of the best things that you could do for yourself is to grow your mentality, change your mentality, and expand your knowledge. I definitely recommend reading up on what other people have to say on the topic. Learn from other people's wisdom that's 20, 30 years accumulated, so that you don't have to spend the same amount of time. Once you have changed your mind, your behaviors will follow. Number 4. The daily habits matter the most. I used to think that big, amazing things happened in big, amazing ways. I never thought that big, amazing things really only happened on a small little amount dedicated each day. Even when you see overnight successes, do not be fooled. These were not overnight successes. This is just like the tip of the iceberg, and the giant ice that's underneath the water is the amount of years and experience dedicated to finally producing that little small product. If you want to stop being broke, don't think this is going to happen overnight. You're not going to just all of a sudden grow massive amount of wealth, but you can staunch the bleeding. The daily habits are the ones that are going to matter the most. You may not be able to switch jobs and get like a super high incurring job, but if you want to stop being broke, what you can do is look at your current state of affairs on the daily, make the better choice. That's all that you can do, and that will benefit you the most in the long term. Every time I save $10 at the end of the month, when I accumulated how much I saved, whether it be like I didn't get that Starbucks drink, once I tallied that up and I saw how much I actually saved, I saved like into the thousands. If you want to stop being broke, fortunately, you don't have to make big changes. You just have to make small, better daily changes. And in the long term, you're going to see amazing results. Number 5, money isn't the most important thing. Freedom is. The whole point of not being broke is to realize that it's not actually really about money. You're not doing this to have more money. I mean, yes, you're doing this to have more money, but it's not really just about more money. That's why if you've ever heard this term, financial freedom, that's the best luxury that money buys you. Money buys you freedom. If you think of a lot of life problems that you've had, having money definitely helped. I'm not saying money solves life's problems. It doesn't. But money definitely helps. is that you can have the freedom to choose how you want to live your life. When you don't have much money, you really don't have much choice on what kind of jobs you can take, saying yes or no to a job, how you work. You got bills to pay, you got student loans and personal debt that needs to be paid. There's really no wiggle room to be thinking and dreaming, or even being able to afford the dreams that you have, the things that you really want to do. So that's where money comes in. If you had enough money, would you still be doing that job? If you had enough money, would you be more motivated and have more courage to pursue your dreams? Most likely, yes. And so that is why I stopped being broke, when I realized that if I stopped buying material junk and I kept that money to myself, I was buying something else instead. I was buying my freedom. Later down the road, I was able to say no to jobs that I otherwise would feel like I would have to take for the money, have a little bit more cushion. I also slept better at night because I didn't think, oh, if I lost my job, what am I going to do? I would think, no, I have that cushion. If I don't have a job for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I can live extended into the future, which is essentially what wealth building is. When you build wealth, it's being able to buy yourself the ability to maintain your lifestyle indefinitely into the future without active income.
Sound off in the comments below if you're on your own financial journey.
If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, check out my Instagram for more Mignon Cobra goodness, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye! I got my notes here, so we're ready. I got